Iya, yang ngomong sini Pak. Pamit. Oh, kotanya. Baru ganti baterai. Ya, nah, Pak. Aduh. Pak, tunggu, Pak. Tadi nyata transisinya terpisah. Ini lagi ngedit. Oh, ya. Aduh. Untung kosong. Tak tahu. Ya. Cek buat cek cek buat cek tes.
Morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, hello. I cannot see you.
Good. Okay, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to ask you to unmute the microphone. It's okay now. Will you record this Zoom?
Yeah, I tried to, but I cannot see you.
Thank you very much for your coming and participating. On behalf of the host, I am Mr. And I am a master's student of Geomatika Engineering ITS. And I'm here today to be the master of ceremony of this special occasion. There is indeed a wonderful opportunity for us to witness this important collaboration as the final milestone in extending our perspective and knowledge sharing. So before the signing ceremony started, I will read out the agenda this morning. So the first agenda is the opening, followed by the welcoming remarks, the signing ceremony, the photo period, and continued by the guest lecture today. So, ladies and gentlemen, you will hear the welcoming remarks of the Human Engineering Department ITS, followed by the greetings from the vice director and transcript and respectable representatives. For the first welcoming remark, I will invite Dr. Tomo, STM PhD, to the present podium and give a speech.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, students and colleagues, and thank you to each and every one of you for being here in our wonderful room. And it is such an honor for me to speak on behalf of Geomatika Engineering Department. And let me begin by giving you a warm welcome to the guest lecture, Where to Live to Be Happy, Suburb or Cities by Transnet. And before we get started, I would like to express my appreciation to our colleagues from Russia University of Transport, Professor Polyakov, and Dr. Barisev, and Mr. Kravchenko. Okay. And also, I would like to thanks to our first rector, Innovation, Corporation, Alumni, and International Relations, Bapak Pramujati, and our Dean, Ibu Murni Rahmawati. Thank you for being here, and also all students and lecturers. Okay. Inshallah, in this seminar, we would learn a lot of things, and before that I would like to say that this event is actually initial collaboration between ITS, particularly Civil and Geomatics Engineering, and Transnet, as well as the Russia University of Transport. And I think, and I hopefully in this moment we can sign MOU between us, and based on our discussion yesterday afternoon, that Transnet inshallah will give a licensed software for geomatics for modeling transportation and urbanistic. Ibu Pak Pramujati. And inshallah, in this moment as well, we will sign MOU to apply Transnet software for education and research by conducting this workshop, and yesterday workshop and today guest lecture. And I think that's it for me. Thank you and enjoy the guest lecture. And hopefully after this moment, after Mr. Dr. Pramujati give a speech, then I think will be signing of MOU ya. Thank you and very good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Please give applause to Bapak Danar Guru Pratomo. Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Danar. And for the next remark, we will hear a speech from our Vice Rector, Bapak Bambang Pramujati, STMSC and PhD. For Bapak Bambang, please, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera buat kita semua. Good morning everyone. Our respected guest from Russia, Professor Alexander Polyakov. Good morning and welcome to ITS. Dr. Vladimir Karsenko, Business Development Director of Transnet Soft. Welcome to ITS, as well as Dr. Leonid Barisev. Thank you and welcome to ITS. Ibu Dekan, Bu Murni, welcome. Thank you very much, Pak Danar, Prof. Bandung, and our colleagues from Geomatika, as well as our beloved student. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to this morning event. I think the signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Understanding between ITS and Transnet Soft. The software developer mainly for transportation from Russia. We'd like to convey our sincere gratitude to TransnetSoft for the opportunity for us to be able to use the software as well as to be involved in the development of TransnetSoft. I guess Dr. Dana this morning explained to me that you're going to translate this TransSoft in Indonesian and want the ITS to be involved in the development of this software. And thank you very much for giving us the opportunity as well as the trust to us in joining this program. And we all know Surabaya is the second biggest city, second largest city in Indonesia, and we have similar problem to, I think, most of big city in the world, which is traffic jam. And it's happened quite often in Surabaya. It's not as bad as Jakarta, but I guess it's going to be that bad if we don't do anything else in Surabaya. And I know the the government of Surabaya also tried their best to avoid or to reduce the traffic jam. And for sure, having this kind of software is going to help the government to be able to reduce the traffic jam or to give or to make a good policy in terms of transportation. And hopefully we can introduce your software to our municipal government such that they will be aware that there is a software that can help them to manage the transportation. Yesterday, the Department of Geomatic also invite I think from the government, representative from the government, and they explain how this system works, etc. And it seemed that they'll show their interest in this kind of software, and hopefully we can take part in the implementation of the software in the government. ITS, we have quite a lot of expertise who works in this area, in smart city, in the transportation, smart transportation, etc. And therefore, when I received this of your book, I took a picture and I sent it to my colleagues who is really working on this smart city most of, I think, his life. And hopefully he will be able to someday to contact you and to join you to have this kind of project in developing smart city, not only in Surabaya but also in Indonesia at large. We play important role in the development of smart city in Surabaya, that's for sure, especially in the transportation system and how we serve the people of Surabaya. And we also take very important part in the development of one big data of East Java province. And it's also developed by our colleagues in here in ICT robotics. And we also take part in many different cities as well as province in Indonesia. And therefore, if we can have a stronger collaboration with our partner from overseas, then we are going to be able to make something different to have a bigger impact to our society. Thank you very much again for your support in this using of this software. Here in ITS, we also have some so-called Scientenopark. Scientenopark is where our researcher, our innovator produces their innovative product to be able to be downstreaming and used by the community. And one of the innovative cluster is ICT and robotic, which is very closely related to the one that you have here in this software. And hopefully, as I mentioned earlier, that we will be able to play a more important role in this country with the support of our partner from anywhere in the world. And today we have you guys from Russia. Thank you very much. And I mentioned to you this morning that yesterday we also signed a collaboration memorandum of understanding as well as the memorandum of agreement with two institutions, Tom's University as well as the HSC, High School of Economic University, which is you work as the professor in HSC. Thank you very much. And yesterday we also have I guess we have also a lecture from the two university, and they open offices here in our Directorate of Global Kampung or Directorate of Global Engagement in ITS. Hopefully, with the opening of this representative office, we can also have the opportunity to send our student to go abroad and this time to Russia. And it's a good news that this time we have a 12 student of international undergraduate program goes to Tom's University for double degree program. They are going to stay in Tom's University for 2 years for their degree from the informatic engineering department. Again, thank you very much. And this also is going to open another collaboration with many other Russian institutions. Thank you, and hopefully Pak Danar, Pak Bandung dan teman-teman dari Geomatika semoga bisa manfaatkan kesempatan this very rare occasion or this very rare opportunity to develop whatever that we need for our city, for our country, with the support of our partner from this time from Russia. Thank you very much, our beloved student, and hopefully you will be able also to learn many things from our colleagues here from Russia and as well as from your beloved lecturer here. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Let's give applause to Bapak Bambang. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Bambang. And for the last acknowledgement, we will have the first Deputy General Director of Transnet, Professor Alexander Polyakov, to deliver his precious speech. So please join us, and the time is yours.
Good morning. Good morning at first, and we have the excellent second day in your perfect university. It's true, and very good team, and very good team with energy. And I want to say some words. To thank you for Vice Rector of ITS, Professor Bembank Pramujati, and for Dean of Civil Planning of Geoengineering, Dr. Murni Rahmawati, and Head of Department of Geomatics Engineering, Mr. Danar Guru Pratoma. Thank you very much. Thank you. And for example, Transnet, of course, have the many different products, and for one of them, it's macro modeling, like Transnet. And the next step, we can discuss about the smart city, about the monitoring of different social media, and we have the different things from the planning, manage, and monitoring different systems. And for example, the next step will be, if you want, will be ITS. ITS, it's the same name like the intellectual transport system, like the name of your university. ITS to ITS, it will be good thing. It will be good slang for us of them. And we prepare small present for your university. It's picture. Yes, please. It's picture of the one of the ancient University of Moscow of Russian Federation. Moscow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moscow Government University, and it will be like the historical moment and
The university.
yeah,
Moscow.
in Moscow. In Moscow, it's very nice place. And welcome to Moscow, and we will visit, and we will have the good trip. And I feel your friendship, and I think we create, and I hope that we create the many new products for Indonesia, and we will have the good business market for this for your cities, for your development, and so on, so on, so on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Alex, for your remarks. So that was truly inspiring and a great way to kick off the signing ceremony. And their remarks have set the tone for what promises to be faithful and productive collaboration. We will proceed with our main agenda, signing of an agreement, MOU, between the Geomatics Engineering Department and Transnet. The representatives of ITS, Bapak Bambang Pramujati, STMSJ and PhD, to also come to the signing table, to the stage, and the Professor Alexander Polyakov as well. And we will be holding a signing ceremony right away. So yeah, you may start the signing ceremony, and yes. So please take the picture. All right, let's give applause, everyone. And for the rest of the guests from Transnet Company, the Dean faculty, and the rest of the guests, I also invite you to join the photo session. So please come to the stage. Okay, please give applause, everyone. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so for the next, we will also deliver our present that will be given by Bapak Bambang Pramujati to the representatives of the Transnet. Uh, the souvenir giving today. Let's give applause, everyone. To Bang Pramujati and the trans representatives. Ladies and gentlemen, our ceremony has come to an end. On behalf of the host, we extend our appreciation to all of you who has been attending and witnessing this important milestone. Thank you and have a great day ahead. So if the distinguished guests have other matters to be followed today, you are possible to leave the room and the event will be continued with the guest lectures. Thank you very much for your presence and precious remarks. Buat speaker. apa-apa.
Mungkin nanti kalau udah masuk, udah cukup ya kan.
Ya.
Biasanya dia kayak mimbar tadi kan. Berapa orang yang nerangin?
Mungkin sekitar 15 sampai 20 menit masih ada
Dipastikan aja.
ini apa namanya?
Ada
Masih ada bicaraan sama diundur.
Ya, apa sih?
Dua aja.
Yang mau memaparkan berapa? Yang
Nggak usah. Nggak usah. Iya.
Kelasnya apa? Pemrograman.
Pemrograman.
Ya sudah sekarang bicara dulu pemrograman. Ya, tapi kamu
nanti banyak itu sembilan sudah mimbarnya tidak
Yang bisa oh jadi. Yang benar untuk menginfokan segera. Oke, teman-teman. Jadi untuk guest lecture-nya akan diundur semenit. Jadi untuk teman-temannya yang belum datang bisa diajakin datang ke sini. Terima kasih. Bisa rehat-rehat dulu. Ya, iya, sama.
berapa menit ya? Siapkan aja pertanyaan itu
apa misalkan putih misalkan Prof,
Iya,
gimana
iya,
cara
baik.
menyelesaikan
Langsung
putih?
ngomong.
Monggo Prof, sambut.
Sudah ya?
Oke.
Sudah ya?
Oh ya.
Oke. Saya minta perhatian sebentar ya. Sambil saudara absen, ya. Tadi Bu Nurwa bilang absen ya. Ini nanti kan mungkin akan menarik kalau kegiatan guest lecture itu juga saudara siapkan pertanyaan-pertanyaan terkait dengan AI-nya sendiri, mungkin model atau algoritma yang akan disampaikan, mungkin aplikasinya terkait dengan transportasi. Transportasi itu kan saudara tahu ya, sepeda motor sekarang nggak karuan, sepeda motor bukan mobil ya. Jadi di sini kan terkait dengan saudara aja sekarang cari apa? Cari transport umum ya, transport umum itu sekarang angkot sudah nggak ada, adanya sekarang bis Surabaya ya. Terus di sini belum ada apa namanya? Kalau Jakarta itu kan ada LRT, MRT dan sebagainya ya. Nah, gimana? Terus yang selain itu juga mungkin saya nggak tahu ya, mungkin sebagian besar saudara itu kan masih tinggal di Sidoarjo ya. Tinggal di Sidoarjo, padahal saudara kuliahnya itu di Surabaya. Itu bagaimana penyelesaiannya itu ya. Selain itu ada yang di Gresik atau saudara kos, saya nggak tahu ya. Ya, itu. Terus banyak sekali permasalahan-permasalahan masalah transportasi itu bukan hanya transportasi, tapi apa? Terkait dengan aglomerasi atau permukiman yang sekarang itu sudah non jauh di sana. Kalau saya nggak salah sekarang sampai di Mojokerto ya permukiman itu. Ini adalah kasus untuk Surabaya. Nah, saudara juga bisa sampaikan ke yang lain. Tadi sudah disebut dengan smart city. Smart city itu kan juga ini ya terkait dengan masalah transportasi, komunikasi dan sebagainya dan sebagainya. Disiapkan ya pertanyaan-pertanyaan ini. Jadi bukan kita nguji mereka ya, tapi kita cari satu solusi gitu. Satu solusi bagaimana permasalahan di kita terkait dengan transport atau permukiman atau apapun yang lain itu bisa diselesaikan di sini. Ya, supaya saudara mendapatkan pencerahan. Saya kira gitu ya, tolong saudara siapkan. Terima kasih.
Ada RD-nya, Pak.
Ada apanya?
RD-nya enggak?
RD.
Randanya.
Oh, alah.
Melongo-melongo di depan.
Kayak tamu tanya jawab foto.
Sekarang kita di ini ya, MC ini.
Nanti pas masuk ini pembukaan pria tamu.
Kan berarti naik slide terus MC membaca CV, oke. Nah, ininya pemateri satu kan?
Iya, sudah cukup.
Ya tamu 60 menit dia jawab. Oke.
Надо другую еще. Сейчас, мама. Они же, у них есть. We need to download the presentation because we're switching out. It's still downloading. Yeah. No, it's,
For your questions that we can deliver in the question and answer session, because it will be really captivating for you to have a discussion about the application of the software related to the course that you have got in the lectures. So, Professor Alexander Polyakov is the professor at the Russian University of Transport, and we will hear the amazing lecture from him today. So, Professor, are you all set?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and the time is yours.
And one more additional for you, please. I want to say some words. For the best question, you will give the one special present from the Russian Federation. If you if you will listen and ask us, we will answer, and you will give a present, small present, but it's very special. And yes, could you open my file? Just a moment. And we will talk about urbanization, and then I will ask you also the question, what do you think about Indonesia? Because it's very interesting for your opinion, for your culture. And I can say what's, yes? Can we open? Yes, please.
Ready.
Okay, ready. And can you please next slide? Oh no, what please? Okay. With a table of contents. It's the first mile lection in English. And I think it will be understand and interesting. Thank you. Yes, next. Prepare with the words from the movie. The movie is Happiness. If you saw, you can see Thomas Jefferson, the founding father of America, had to write with bullshit: life, liberty, and the right to happiness. Life is good, freedom, well, I understand the concept is general, but what the hell is happiness? Nobody understands what's happiness, and we must understand where to live better and how to do it. Next. Okay. And urbanism is about being the people happy. Yes, it's true. And about 82% of Russian, when they ask what's happiness, we said happiness. We don't understand what's happiness, but happiness is different things. And the first is balance of goals and results, if you understand with what. The second, enjoying what you are doing and where are you. It's important for us, for urbanism and so on. The ability, if not to be happy, at least to be called so. It's very important. Many people said, you are happy? Yes, I'm happy. Don't worry. It's okay. How are you? Okay. It's not happiness, but you answer also what your happiness, because you don't want to think what another people do, what happens, what to do, and so on, so on, so on, so on. And also the happiness, it's also the harmonial effect, because if we will speak about the medicine students, it will be very important. It's the future science, and it's very important science. And I know what's your medical department in your university. It's very new and very important for future. Let's try find the place where the people is more happiness. Next slide. A little bit about happiness. You can see, oh, it's very small words. Sorry. I think it will be more. A little bit before the 18th century, people don't think about happiness or not happiness. We live, we believe, and we don't think what's will be tomorrow. We think about another things, not about happiness. And for example, in 20th century, down please, this slide, the many things we'll find, for example, for different people. For example, headlines result over several decades, 14,000 things to feel happy. One book. Another book, happiness is a choice. And the next, 1,000 ways to happiness. And the special different books you can find, for example, in Western countries and in other. Happiness for Black women, exclusively. Stairway up, secret steps to Jewish happiness. It's true. We always, different people won't find that special happiness. Blue happiness, stop about it. And find happiness is everything is to do. Next, please. On the right. Yes. Up, please. If you want to find the formula, it's health plus social fulfillment, emotional satisfaction. It's all summary is happiness, and then down, please. You will see what's happiness. It's always, sometimes it's always personal. It's special for you. Not what is good for you is not good for another people. But sometimes we want to find the new formula: happiness, quality of life, well-being. Right now, it's we opinion like the same the words, but it's different. But we opinion like the same. And measure of happiness is the length of happy life and happy days a person can live. What people happiness? Summary 1 day plus 2 plus 3, and summary how many days you was happy. Next slide. Happiness of city follows the countries. It's this formula also. Less happy countries, citizens are happier rural inhabitants. Yes, it's true. Because for example, in village, you can find the schools, you can find the good hospitals, you can find the another thing, and so on. And for more happy countries, rural inhabitants happier than the citizens. Because, for example, in small cities like in Europe, sometimes people live happy and we don't want to live in the cities because there is you have the fast track and have the good transportation, good mobility to the hospitals, to university, to schools, and so on, so on, so on. And it's very important. The rapid growth of megacities is not a natural vector of historical development. Yes, it's true. Because, for example, I want to live not far from the nature, but I want to have the services like in the megapolis. And if we create this formula, it will be good for us. Next slide, please. And this is a source. I don't believe in this source, but its source is international. And for example, you can see the first distribution of the happiness index by country. The first is Finland, Denmark, Switzerland, Iceland. It's asked about the Western countries. And then you can find about the city and Helsinki, Aarhus, Wellington, Zurich, and so on. All the most popular and more happiness citizens live in the small cities, not in megapolis. Clicker. Thank you. No. And next slide, please. And the second part we will discuss about does the environment shape the person or does the person shape the environment? What's the first? Please. And we have we can find these things: environment, person, house, family, and city. It's one circle. And it's what's important. It's not, we don't understand. And for urbanization, it's very important because if we will discuss about the city, we must understand about the environment, and we must understand about the family, and so on, so on, so on. House and person the same. Next slide. What is the man? It's very important question. What is the man? For example, if we discuss about Hippocrates, we will discuss, as he said, we are what we eat, and also we are what we think. Who is man? What we think or what we eat? It's the same. It's ancient Greece philosophy, but it's very important. For example, but in this modern movie, you can find the Guardians of the Galaxy, I am Groot. And after in the end of the movie, you can find when he was big, he said, we are Groot. It's also the opinion of the human, of the opinion of the personal. It's very important. And we are only the object or subject. And it's always the question for many, many, many centuries after us. And we are, I repeat, human needs for identification. He understands who is him. We are ready to identify the customized objects through the spinach and to Louboutins. People who close Louboutins or close Prada, use Prada, we understand I am another, I am use Prada, for example. We identification like the personality by the clothes, for example. Consumer goods for a second body, yes, it's true, and dense shell that gets inside the context to the human by wedge border. Food habits, the cosmetics practice, medicines, massages, and other goods and services. For example, if you use massage, you think about your health. If you use, for example, some cosmetics, you also think what you are another. I like this and don't like this, and so on, so on, so on. We very important understands what sometimes we have one formula for happiness, and sometimes we must identify with second. Second, please. Next, please. And personal identity. I decide everything on my own. You see what's right, or I must change scale. Students, please say, you see what's right here? Yes, okay. And we have the separate two things. It's all their fault. I know everything about them. It's one thing, and another, I don't depend on anyone. I am very strong, and I know all about myself. But sometimes we said very often, take me as I am. And for example, we can change on two things. For example, inner pole, house and its surrounding, and other pole, territory constituting the human social environment. The environment is the place to live, but where we live. When, for example, where we are, what right now, could you say something where we are? Where, for example, for you, what do you think? Where we are? In the class, okay. And nobody said what we live in the city right now. City, we see when we travel from one point. Thank you. From point A to point B, for example. We have right now we're in class, and then we will go to home, for example. And when we travel from A to B, we will see the city only in this moment. When we walk, when we travel in bus, when we travel in car, we see the city. When we stop, for example, in restaurant, in cafe, in hotel, and so on. We will stop in one place, and we also nobody said what I live in this city, in this country, and so on. Where we understand it's inner pole, and the another, of course, other pole. This is about the territory, about the country, about the traditional, about the different historical things. Next. The environment is the main factor affecting the general type of action. For example, you can see intelligent person it's a historical moment when we can find the habitat and individual person's way of thinking, the discrimination of material living condition, because maybe some people poor, some people rich, and we decide it's not the same. Yes, we decide the same. And all people have the same rules, for example, and the socio-cultural system, civilization, national discrimination based on place of origin. It's not right. For example, some countries said what's Russian is not good. We don't understand why, but it's, I think, natural inclusions, discrimination of genetic basis, because you was born, for example, with different families, and for example, your uncle was murdered and so on, so on, so on. In Japanese, traditional to kill all family if your some uncle, for example, was murdered, for example. It's not right. And we choose responsibility, idea of quality, all the same, and you can choose what you want. But sometimes we have the different individual things. We can choose a issue. Next slide. And how do you distinguish a person as something unique for the typical family, institute, social ties? We can see the human like the human as a biological entity. A human is a part of society or personality, and it's different. And we must understand. You must understand who are you in this part, in this part, in this part, because it's very important. Because you can change your life if you change your opinion of different ways of opinion of the human. The reason for progress is desire to cooperation. It's said Russian science Mechnikov, and it's true. Because only the society can create the research, can create the new things, new another new for civilization. Next, please. Physical and ecological space. The ecological space is surrounding world of a particular body person. It's the totality of what can happen here and now of some time in other circumstance. Human, mutual determination, and environment. And it's all is important. Also, the place of behavior, spatio-terminal ecosystem, for example, and in the next slide, I think it's the same. Next, please. Natural human habitat, material environment, it's true, plus the social surrounding. And it's an infrastructure factor. And here is another is the social factor. And summarize, the same is environment, the same is biological spices. Next, please. Next. And what do you think? What is the city in your opinion? Could you say? For example, what if we will, for example, we will see to the city from the plane, what we can see? We can see, for example, something, buildings and roads. If, for example, we can have to picture to the city, for example, in space, we'll see only the buildings and the roads. Yes. And next. And different propose buildings live and freestanding, and the roads people drive and equip it. But we have, for example, the another opinion, for example, for home, is the name is dom. I don't know in your language, home, what how it's named? Huh? Ruma. Like room? Ruma. Oh, it's very interesting. It's I know in the next time I will know more your words than in English. Meaning of the word home, it's building and family or living together. Home, it's not only the building. In Russian opinion, it's also the home, it's also the family. It's the next opinion of the home. Next slide. What is home? What is dom? Now we have the, for example, ancient Indian, the names is damas, Latin it's domus, and ancient Greek is domos. It's a different word, but it's like the Russian dom. It's with the change the words. For example, it's about noun, and about verb, it's built, demo, and bint deo. It's built and bint stones and people. Also, we must connect people in one place. This is about house, about home. Next slide. And in Russia, like in your country, family, it's a very important point for the opinion, for the society, and so on. Union of people is the family, and domus, damartos, house and spouse. And Slavic culture, as I said, family, household, and building is the same, but the family, it's more than family, and home, it's more than only the house. It's more opinion, like in your culture, the same thing. Next. The different in ancient home family cultures. Ancient Roman, inshallah, insula, it was the same word like you use. It's also the home, like also the family. It's very big opinion. Insula, domus, where the family live. And for example, it was like the insula, it's the house with many flats, with many rooms. And your opinion in your culture, as I understand, many rooms creates the civilization and creates the insula, inshallah. It's the same. I think it's the different words, but opinion one, maybe. Ancient Greek, for example, it's another opinion. Ancient Greek, oikos, like oikumena, like okumen, economy, ecologically, it's all about the one word, oikos, ekos, and damas, and to live, to dwell, and so on and so on and so on. And also we have the when we speak about the home, we speak about the roof over our head. Next slide, please. Yes, is family is necessary for happiness? And next slide. For example, it's not funny. It's funny for your age, but it's not funny. Yes, it's said about one of the famous Western urbanist, Richard Florida, married people are much happier than the unmarried. The next slide. And I have prepared for you some statistic, distribution of marriage and divorce rates by country map. For example, you see what, for example, in Russia and USA, we have the big problem with it. But in your country, you are very good and good level. For example, next, please. You can see, next, you can see what's many, this is not good future for many Western countries, because you will see statistic, it's not a Russian statistic, it's their statistic, but it's merits low. And what will be next? And this is the same. It's also not good. It's not so, because it's very link between these all things together. Next. And this is moment very important, because many Western women, for example, don't marry before the 40 years, for example, 30 years, and it's a big problem for the children, for the next population, next civilization, and so on. It's because the health and the life, and it's all connect between. Next, please. And this is sorry, but this is a bullshit at all. Yes, it's true, because it's a very big strategy for many countries, and it's problem. No, next. A city like a human society begins with the person in the home, in the family. And family is the social dimension of the home, because we have some different reasons. And for example, you can see, please, can you scale here? Reasons, you can write it, and for example, for people biologically oriented towards the formation of a stable union for the period from conception to the independence of the child, lengthening childhood, increase burden on parents, and develop of material emotion bonds between family members and between families in group. And it's very important reason. And we, if we want to have the new people, we want to have the new civilization, we hope to have the development for our countries, we must understand what is family and what is the connect between the men and women. Next. From home to city, houses should be inhabited and connected by social relationships. Families make dwelling habitable and open them up to the other families. And family can't be without a home, and the home without a family. Because for example, in our culture, home and family is the same. I repeat, please. It's the same opinion. Yes, and home and family are prerequisites for happiness. Next slide. Next. And next, please. And I wrote one of my book. The name is Terra Urbana. It's about another concentration of people, and not only in cities, in megapolis, and not only in villages. And what's the main point? The next slide. Human happiness is a goal of urban environment development. Urban environment has a direct impact on a person's level of happiness. At the first. The second, the level of happiness is not guaranteed to be uniquely high, metropolis or low village level of urbanization. And the third, the urban landscape can be actively shaped by people themselves. Next. How to create an environment for a happy life. Next, please. For example, we can use the infrastructure, what we can use right now. For example, before, it's one of the my last project in government of Moscow. We took the river station old and create the new after with lights, with parks, with another things, and there are many people can use it place for relax, for shopping, for different things. And for example, it's one of the last project in Moscow right now when we change the railway to the from cargo to railway for people. And we change also, it's changed also the places. For example, it was before, there are no people, and right now it's many people and many passengers can use it, begin use it. Next slide. And for example, principle 2, avoid the extremes of megacity and rural development. Megacities, Lagos, Nigeria, and for example, Sao Paulo, Brazil, and villages, Punpun in Indonesia. It's, for example, Viesa, Mexico. We can change it's one low level and high level in another. Next, it's not good and this not good. The next, if you understand the minuses of megapolis, overcrowding, poor ecology, low availability of land and housing, traffic congestion for all megapolis in the world. If you want to live in megapolis, you always will see there inside the traffic jams. And constant stress, it's also the truth. If you will live with millions of people, not far from, you always will be in constant stress. And minuses of villages, low standard of living, lack of social services, economic and production stagnation, low mobility, detachment from the world. And for example, for Russia, I prepare the development of territory and separated on three part or four part. Support for development of million plus cities. It's about 25%. The name create the synurbis. I named it the connecting of three cities, middle cities in one, not megapolis, in one synurbia. It's named like synurbia, and I will describe about it. And also ensuring integration of rural proposal and maintain enclaves. For example, special places with nature only for some people, not without the plants, not without the other things, but it's the place for our future civilization where we see the nature like true. And for example, and right now we reducing distance only by time, not in kilometers. Because, for example, you can see St. Petersburg, it's the same territory like Kazan, but between the St. Petersburg and Moscow, we have the high-speed rail traffic, and we have only 4 hours, for example. And but this territory, for example, to Kazan, it's the same. It's about 700 kilometers, but we can go so about 14 hours on train. It's different, but the distance the same. But many people, for example, live in Moscow and work in St. Petersburg, and work in St. Petersburg and live in Moscow. It's always because we have only 4 hours, because we can wake up at 6 o'clock and will be at 10 on the work and begin the work, for example. And it's very important because not distance, the time is a very important point for opinion of the distance right now in the world. Next, please. and Sunurbia. How it's work? Please, maybe I don't know, maybe a picture. Yes, I think will be better. You will see the what about 150 kilometers? For it will be less than 1 hour on public transport, on high-speed public transport, for example, LRT or BRT, maybe. On and another with the different specialization of the cities included, the point of growth if connected with the railway, and for example, the many other things. I will stand my lecture and you will see it. It's another opinion, because we can create here is the house along the railway, and you will see it's a new point of growth, and it will be more nature, more environment, more and so on, and it will be more sustainable for development of the all cities. Next, please. And next, it's also the Western source, the Happy Planet Index. Yes, and your country also very good. Your people, yes, it's true. You are smile. I don't know, because we live all 6 months. We live in the snow and with minus. We don't smile, because if we will smile, snow will be down inside. It's not good for our health. But you very smile, and I feel it. You are true happy. Next slide. And so, some words from another people, for example, Richard Florida. Those who study happiness argue that for the importance of money and material progress, with things alone cannot guarantee true satisfaction. Yes, it's true. And it's, for example, next slide. You can lose everything. The life expect one thing, the freedom of choice, how you react to that happiness, and so on, so on, so on. Yes, it's true. React is very important for our happiness. If we react on different things in family, in university, in our relationships with our girlfriend, boyfriend, with our parents, we change the level of happiness. Yes, it's true. And the next, it's British philosopher, McGuinn. It's all about where and when. Location. It's a true to life as it's to real estate. Yes, it's true. Location is very important. If we change our location right now, we can change our opinion of the world. For example, we can change, for example, from this lesson, from this room to another room. We change location, to change opinion of the life. Yes. And the next, please. The big question is, what first brings happiness to person? I think it's 4 points. The first, it's friends and community, family and children, favorite activity, a contact with nature. Because, for example, some men can live without the contact with nature. But the woman, they have the energy after the nature, because it's a power for woman always. If you want to create your girlfriend or your wife happy, go to the nature. For example, to Bali. All our wives want, Russian wives want to be in Bali. But men can live, of course, without Bali. For us, it's very interesting to be here and to read lecture, for example. Yes, and the next, It's also the percent of population which owns housing, for example. And in Russia, it's a big percent. I don't know about your country, maybe later. And and I have some question for you. Next slide. It's question. What do you think about Sinurbia in Indonesia? Do you think what we can connect? Can we connect some cities in Indonesia? What do you think? Maybe students can answer. Don't worry, it's not mistake. You can. Don't worry. Can you answer? Don't worry. Okay, I will go to.
Sing bahasa Good morning, Miss. I'd like to explain about I think there make like a triangle geometry and perkembangannya apa? Development in the central of thank you.
I saw you discuss about something.
Yeah, thank you very much. Only like 3 minutes before I have discussed with her about the Sinurbia, maybe an example in Indonesia. Actually, maybe the Sinurbia is more like in Surabaya we call it Gerbang Kertasusila. It means like Surabaya is the main center of the cities, and the other cities is the nearest or surrounding cities near the Surabaya, more like Mojokerto cities or Gresik and etc. like that. But in Jakarta metropolitan, I think there's another shape, there's another geometry. Jakarta, Jabodetabek, Jakarta, Bogor, Depok, and etc. Yeah, like that.
And, thank you. Владимир, а можем мы подарки сразу подарить, чтобы ребята заинтересовались и сейчас отвечали на вопросы? And of course we want to, we have some present for you. It's Amber Russia. Yes, it's with certificate. It's inside. You can see it. And for and it's for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And with something thought about the Sinurbia in Indonesia, and can you open one? For example, can you see it? And I'm more like next. Can you open the next slide? Well, this is a classical, I think. Palembang, Batu Raja, Lubuk Ligao. Yes, this is always railway station. This is the center of the logistics. And for example, if you can create the, for example, I don't know, we have the another name, but for here, Disney Park, for all the cities is not will be good. But if you create the here, all people from these cities will go to here. And for example, you can have one good hospitality, for example, for eyes, and not 3 bed or 4 bed. You can one, but with quickly connect, it will be smaller than 1 hour if we construct the railway and create the speed railway. And for example, it's good mathematical school in this part, good hospitality, and who's, for example, museum. It will be live in one area, and it's good for investment because people have the trade, big trade for them. For example, we don't know about the small cities, the population, but only in these 4 cities. Сделай мне на весь слайд. For all cities, it's about people. But some in the world, if we all cities inside with triangle, it will be about 2.5 million people and more, and about 20 or 40 small cities inside, and we'll live in one society, and we don't need in different schools, in different hospital, in different and so on. We connect with railway and to go to the services places in the another, for example, places, and you can see what is the different. This is a different industry, and it's also good because, for example, one good doctor can have the clients from the different cities. It will be good for health, for example, for all this Synurbia. This is all these things producing, and so on, so on, so on. And before slide, and also we think with Semarang, Surakarta, and Yogyakarta. Jakarta. Yes, and this is also the same, and this is the point of growth. It's very good for development if we decide what connect with the railway, for example. There are no railway, it's not class 6 in Urbia, but also can use. For example, maybe this places will be growth because we connect it in one area, and so on, so on, so on. This is my opinion of Synurbia. It's first steps in Synurbia for Indonesia, but I think it will be interesting to learn together with your students. If you give us task, we will learn it and we will research about it and we'll think about the development. Thank you very much. I want to ask question. You know what's for all question? Good question. You will give the very important present.
Thank you very much. What an incredible lesson. So, Professor Alex has shared about the importance of the city intelligent activity at the head of the process of urban development and what role like houses, buildings, roads play in this process. Which is really rare for us because we barely talk about the social, economic, engineering, and about emotional matters, human happiness. We barely talk about in our daily lesson lectures. So I hope everyone still can feel excited to deliver your questions to Professor Alex. So is there anyone who wants to ask the questions?
The main question about what's happiness, married or unmarried, I say. This slide was the main in my election. Микрофон надо. Помочь перевести.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to ask about the most common issue in developing countries for overpopulation. What do you think about that? Like in Java, there are 150 million people in Java, and this is the overpopulation in one island. And what do you think about that? This is the impact in having us in one environmental city. What do you think about
Thank you for question. We have some research, and not only Mechnikov and another many mathematics and fundamental mathematics in the world and in Russia. We calculate what on the Earth can live 25 billion people without problem. But now will be poor and not we all will be with rich. And right now live about 9 billion people, and we have some poor countries without food. For example, in Africa and in other places where people will die because we can eat food. It's a question not about the big population. It's a question about how we use this. For example, in Sinurbia, you will be not far from the nature. You can have the connect with nature and connect with services. If you will live only in megapolises, it will be always with stress. You always will live with traffic jam. I repeat, all the megapolis have the traffic jams. All the New York, London, Jakarta, and so on. So it's true. It's you can learn it. But if we can, another opinion of perspective planning of housing, perspective development, another development, we will live not far from the nature, not far from the forest, but we connect with the transport system. We can live and have the good food and good the good services and so on. I think not problem in population. It's problem in planning of land, of planning of territory, and so on. Thank you.
For the question and answer, well, so is there anyone who wants to? Oh, yeah.
Yes. Just a moment. I must see my friend.
Thank you for the opportunities. My name is Erlangga. I would like to know a question about if we like the Sinurbia, the center of the city, within center of island like Salatiga and people Salatiga is Palembang. But in Indonesia, the big city like Jakarta and Surabaya is always in coastal area. So how to build the Sinurbia in Indonesia when the biggest city is in the coastal area? Is it possible to build the Sinurbia or ownership to build the like this like Sinurbia but the different shape?
I think it's of course, for example, all over the world, you have the many islands, and you have the prefer without countries, because you have resource and industry on the sea coast, on the ocean coast, and not in other countries. You don't have such much costs. It's very perfect because you can see the very unique places. But of course, maybe it's not far from the city. It's far from Simrang, but it will be in the center. For example, here, logistics center, logistic and industrial. But here will be more, must be, I think, it will be more for the nature, for the cost, for results, not far from here, and so on, so on, so on. I think it's not right to have the plane on the ocean coast. Maybe in your country, beneficial. Must think about it, but for another countries, of course, you must use it like the cost for human, for people, not for plant, for logistics center. But it's not far from here. It's 41 kilometers, and railway it will be for the high-speed railway for cargo. It will be less than 20 minutes. It's not far from here. I think it's maybe we must discuss about it. Good question. Thank you.
Still a lot of questions.
Good morning, and Mr. Alex.
Спасибо.
First of all, I will say thank you for MC to give me the opportunity to ask questions for this conversation. Coming from Jombang, my name is Muhammad Rashid Pratama. I'm studying at Geomatika Engineering batch 2021. And my feeling right now, a little bit nervous, but more excited because from Russia, so I'm really grateful to be here. Basically, I have two questions, but I just want them to question for you, Mr. Alex. Okay. My question is, are there any interesting research findings in the field of geomatics that can describe how urbanization affects human happiness? This is important considering that individual happiness can vary depending on their perspective, such as basic value, city, or downtown, and how they environment. Thank you so much.
I had some slides before it, and of course I can repeat your name. It's very hard for me. Thank you. It's thank you for доброе утро. It's very unique name, and for me, and of course, maybe can we open? Which one? I think before. For example, I will give you, for example, right now, and not individual. For example, right now we can believe what we are happy. Right now, stop our things. Don't see on slides. It's later. Only stop your things. Stop your phones, please. Please, 1 minute, please. All girls, first. Girls, stop your phones and stop right now. We can close your eyes, please stop, and feel what my hot, my warm, and I want to be what you will be happy. What you will be happy all right now. You must feel it. What we all happy right now. Don't worry. It will be quickly, and don't think about your family, your wife, your husband, your parents, your child. No, only feel what you are happy. And okay, it's nothing happens, but some people in this room will feel happy right now. Nothing happens, but we change our opinion of the one moment. And we can happy like in megapolis, and can find the different perspectives. And for example, we can change the village and also will be happy and without perspectives. It's not the same. Must understanding. And we have some present, and it's finished. Thank you for your question. Thank you for your good opinion of election.
So, thank you very much for your valuable insight and for taking time to answer our questions. And our session has come to an end again. So before we conclude our session, we will deliver the gifts from our department to the Professor Alexander. The present will be given by the head of Geomatika Its department, Bapak Danarguru Pratomo.
Oh, it's very good. It's very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, just moment. Okay. Thank you very much. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So we will have together for the session, but before that, maybe Professor Alexander, you have the closing statement for this event.
Yes, if you saw many sources and Western sources, choose your country like very happiness. And with why? Because you have a future, because this is a point of global growth. It's right now it's named the Global South countries. It's the countries who is situated on equator and who creates the growth for the future, for the new point of growth of all our civilization. And I believe it. And it's very thank you for your professors, for your doctors, for your teachers, and we are very cool. Yes, it's true. And and I think your country will be grows and grows and grows, and will be happy to help you in some decisions. And thank you, I repeat, thank you for your hospitality.
Then thank you for Professor Alexander and your second host of Transnet. And yeah, before we really terminate this session, we will have a photo session together. So the audience can please stand up, and we will play the professor and the please take the picture from the photo.
Satu, dua, tiga. Sekali lagi.
Satu, dua, tiga. Oh, offline kali. Oh, satu, dua, tiga. Terima kasih.